call the meeting to order.
Jenkins?
Here.
Harden?
Here.
Vaughn?
Here.
McKinley?
Yes.
Pearl?
Here.
I
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
The first thing that we have, well, the next thing that we have on our agenda this evening is a recognition to the work that the Farmer City Kiwanis Club has done over the past few years. The City Council and to the public over the last, I think it's been 7-8 years, Wheatland Park has undergone a huge transformation. The old playground was taking out, new playground equipment was put in. Additionally, they added a swing set and other pieces of equipment. The Kiwanis was also very much involved in the skate park that was placed in there. And here in this last year, they ran a campaign to raise money for the South Park project, and through their hard work and through the efforts of so many in this community, the Kiwanis once again has provided this city, or helped provide this city with another wonderful piece of playground. So spoke with the city manager, and I had him have this plaque made from the City Council, and I'll invite the president, the current president, is that right, Mr. Jerry McKinley, to come up here in a second, present the Farmer City Kiwanis with this plaque that reads, "Presented to the Farmer City Kiwanis for their continual support by making our parks an area for all citizens to enjoy for years to come, July 7th, 2014. It was about 3 meetings ago, we had a young lady come up and discuss her very real concerns about the park and her desire to see the city more involved. And we all appreciate that, and a lot of work has been done after that. But what I really enjoy about the Kiwanis is that they take the initiative and get the work done. So we need to be appreciative of this group and many other groups who do the same thing. So Jerry McKinley, if you'd come up here, sir. Again, sir, we recognize the work that Kiwanis has done. We appreciate it. Appreciate everything.
Okay.
So here's a plaque for you, sir. Thank you.
You didn't break your camera, did you?
No public comments on agenda items, so the next thing that we have is section 1, the consent agenda.
I make a motion we approve the consent agenda.
I'll second it.
Call it?
Jenkins?
Yes.
Harden?
Yes.
Vaughn?
Yes.
McKinley?
Yes.
Pearl?
Yes.
Motion carries.
With there being no unfinished business, we move to section 3, new business. And first up is Mr. Kurt Holman, representing the Farmer City Chamber of Commerce. Sir, you have the floor.
Thank you. So I am here to, I guess, provide a little more information regarding the summer concert sponsored by the Chamber. And I guess I give a few bits of information, and obviously any questions that you have, I'll be glad to answer. The discussion came about as a possibility of having a summer concert. There's an artist from Texas who performs a lot in Nashville. This is kind of her bio sheet here. She has been in Farmer City prior. I did meet with her. Asked her if she would consider doing a show, and to which she replied, well, I'll have my people get in contact with you. So wasn't exactly what I was expecting, but after quite a bit of negotiations with her and finding dates that would work and fit the schedule, and I was able to get her to come. Now, obviously, a lot of the details depend on what's going to happen this evening, I guess. But the date we're looking at is August 2nd. She will perform. She will. There also will be an opening band. The idea is that it will be a free show. However, we're going to ask for a $5 donation per ticket. It's certainly not required. And then that $5 would help offset any additional expenses, and above and beyond that, try to do something community-oriented or project-oriented. The thought is that this would become a stepping stone to a bigger annual event in the future. So the goal is to have an attendance of somewhere between 700 people and 1,000. Put some positive media from a variety of different sources. Farmer City could always use, as all communities could always use, positive media. And the possibility that some of those donations could be used for a stage or some other things down the road that I know that the council is oftentimes funding. So for other events, so maybe that would offset some future costs as well. So she is just this particular artist. A couple of things, I guess, that impressed me. She does have a top 20 hit in the UK right now, and her that song "Sorry Ain't Enough," and I'm not a country fan particularly, but it's the number 4, and I don't know what MPE downloads are, but MPE downloads, it's number 4 behind some pretty big country artists there as well. So I don't know. That's it. Any questions or that I can answer, or?
And where are you looking to host it?
It's up in the air. It'll be the depending on what happens tonight, it'll be the Legion or the Fairgrounds. Obviously, if 700 to 1,000, it'll have to be the Fairgrounds. If not, it'll have to be a much smaller event, and therefore less attendees, which would be Legion. The drawback, of course, of the Fairgrounds is it's not climate controlled and weather protected, but it would be one of those 2 locations. So the possibility would exist. There would be other locations as a possibility. However, there was a push to have alcohol available. So those are about the only two public locations. So.
And when were you trying this?
This will be August 2nd, which is a Saturday.
Oh, we're not too far away here.
No, 3 weeks from Saturday. So on my end, what happens tomorrow is, again, she's going to come August 2nd. I will tell you that, regardless. And I'll do whatever promoting I can get. However, starting tomorrow, I can really promote, and the chamber can really promote where it should be at, location-wise, other band, other tickets printed, all those things. So.
Any other questions?
Yeah, I'm definitely not opposed to anything. This is kind of short notice on our part, and the information that we got in our packets was pretty big.
Okay.
So I'm not opposed to trying something.
Great.
Big thing is get it promoted and let people know about it.
Correct.
And the World Wide Web does wonders.
It does. And and the thought is obviously with a relatively free showing, that there would be a good crowd, and quite honestly, that is important. I will say for future future events. So again, I can't stress enough that this would really be a springboard for some other potentially very positive music situations next year. So.
In my own opinion, I think I'd really be looking at the fairgrounds, because weather permitting, you can have everybody inside there.
Correct. We did discuss the expo building certainly as a possibility inside that, or the other building, which is not as nice of a building, but even if it's severe weather, obviously we would delay into the evening. But if it's rain, then we would at least have a protected stage and musical equipment and those types of things. So, yeah.
Is the city fully funding this then, for the most part?
Chamber of Commerce is funding the city. No, and to give you an idea, the original numbers were substantially higher than these numbers came in. So I negotiated quite a bit. I was very flexible as far as the date. But this is our shot because she'll be traveling relatively close by, so it's not a huge jump. I negotiated out her band. We're going to have local, not in-town local, but local performers that will have to pay travel expenses and those types of things for. I offered even to try and find her a place to stay for free. I don't know if I have any volunteers or not, but she declined that. So it's gone down, as far as cost has gone down substantially, but even the city, this will not fully fund, between this and the chamber will not fully fund. So some ticket sales might offset that or donations, but the rest will get funded. So.
Mr. Mayor, to answer a little bit of your question a little bit farther, at the last Chamber of Commerce meeting, the Chamber of Commerce pledged $1,000 to get the ball rolling. So they're just, in essence, coming to the city for twice that amount of what they asked of the chamber.
This was at the last meeting, just like a week or so ago?
Correct.
Josh, you're on that chamber. What's your thoughts? You probably know more about this than
Yeah,
sitting here.
I think it's a good event. I actually made the motion to award the money at the Chamber of Commerce meeting. So I feel strongly about that. I think it would be a very good event for Farm City. It's going to be a free event. I mean, the donation, a small donation, essentially a free event. If the chamber didn't and if the city doesn't put some money towards it, then it would not be, because Kurt was going to do a smaller event for kind of customer appreciation, possibly something like that. So this is a great way for us to get involved and make a free event of upcoming artist for the city, and get a cool event here. And
Okay, are the funds available for this?
Yeah.
And where would they be coming from?
Hotel tax or right at 18 in there.
I'm still available for questions, but I think
We're good. Let's go on to the next resolution, that way if there's more discussion, discuss it at that time.
Make a motion to approve resolution 2014-26, $2,500 donation to the Farm City Chamber of Commerce for summer concert to be held August 2nd.
I'll second it.
Any discussion? I would like to at least make this point, and although I think you addressed it a little bit, I think that it would have been. I think this is a good thing, obviously, but a little bit more fair to the city council, a little bit more notification information prior to. I mean, we got about 3 weeks on this, so just.
That's the thing that scared me, is getting it out. And
Facebook and everything, that's what we gotta get it out, people know.
I'm for anything that brings people in town.
The city shouldn't have a problem getting the information out. WC, I mean, there's news organizations.
We're
Kurt-
going with
Kurt
local
knows how to
radio,
promote, so. All right, any other discussion? Call it.
Harden,
Yes.
Hahn,
Abstain.
McKinley,
Yes.
Pearl,
Yes.
Jenkins.
Yes.
Motion carries.
I make a motion to approve resolution 2014-27, $1,000 donation for the Fabulous Farmer City Swap Meet and Extravaganza to be held October 12th, 2014.
I'll second it.
Any discussion?
This was your presentation at the last council meeting.
Steve's here, I see.
Okay.
Mr. Quinn's here. No, I'm not sure. All right.
Was there any updates, Steve, on anything you guys shared with us last time?
Now we're just taking in vendors and, get the ball rolling.
And what was the date on this again, Steve?
October 12th.
October
Any discussion? Any more? Call it.
Hahn,
Yes.
McKinley,
Yes.
Pearl,
Yes.
Jenkins.
Yes.
Harden,
12th. Yes.
motion carries.
Make a motion to approve ordinance 937, amending chapter 91.15 of the code of the Farmer City Code of Ordinances and nuisances.
I'll second.
Discussion.
This comes about, I'm sure that some of you have received phone calls and maybe even been asked to come and look at least one property where there was a family of raccoons. We were featured on Channel 3 News, and so looking at our ordinance book, we didn't have anything to deal with varmints. I contacted DNR, it's not their responsibility. I contacted Public Health, it's not their responsibility. Animal control, same thing. It all falls back on the local government. So looking at the ordinance, which was dated, I believe, 1987, it needed updated some. And so while doing that, while dealing with the raccoons, there's open cisterns in town, there's open cellars, there's just a lot of things that weren't covered, so we put it in here. So one, we can now go back upon passage of this, deal with the issue of the raccoons, and better address some of the nuisances that are showing up around the houses that are commonly called abandoned. So that's the nature of the submit.
Is this gonna, sorry to bring this back up from last time, but just for clarification, so we're updating the ordinance here. Now, is this still gonna need a complaint from a citizen on any of these things?
No, I'm the complainant on this. I contacted DNR. Be honest with you, the first thing DNR did was give me a permit to go down there and shoot them. I'm not going on private property, plus the city council, and there's so much liability there. We do have live traps. I did go to Champaign. I bought live traps. So we'll have a means to catch them. We'll take them out to South Park and get them relocated if we can get them caught. But no, I'm the complainant on this. I went down and spoke with the neighbor and all of that. So
Do we have a homeowner, landlord, contact them or anything?
yes.
Okay. Some of the ordinances that we do have on the books, if it didn't pertain to it, we'd like for them to pertain to it now. And if you need somebody to sign on paper, I'll sign. But we need to get some of these things taken care of.
And we are working on properties here in town. So
I really don't think we have a complaint. I think if they're violating the ordinance, you go after them. I'm tired of this complaint business. It's one general complaint. You should be able to go after and take care of this. They are violating the ordinance. Take care of the problem.
Any other discussion? Call it.
McKinley,
Yes.
Pearl,
Yes.
Jenkins.
Yes.
Harden, Hahn,
Yes.
motion carries.
This moves us to section 4, other items, the city manager's report.
Just had a couple things real quick. I know everybody's been wanting to know what's going on with the Casey's. I have a site plan that came in Thursday for Casey's, if you'd like to look at it later. It doesn't show how elaborate the building is or anything. It does show the land that's still owned by the city and how they propose on putting the building in on that particular 5 acres. So I know that there's been some talk that we're not getting into Casey's, but guys, it's moving right along. The other thing is that I've been in contact with Tom Cray. Tom Cray is the potential developer for the cannabis farm. Farmer City is in the running to land the cannabis farm out on our 20 acres. That would be, of course, is if the city council would endorse such a project. In speaking with him, our biggest competition is going to be Rockford, Illinois. The unemployment in Rockford is twice that amount of DeWitt County, and so obviously they stand a better chance of getting it. One of the key issues is that they realize that we have 20 acres sitting out along the interstate. It's a very well landed site from the standpoint that it has to be 2,500 feet away from a residential area, and so there we're in good shape. They don't believe that they would want the whole 20 acres. They want to know if we would subdivide it. They would be looking at 10 acres. They would put up a 10,000 square foot building. There would be 50 to 60 medium-based jobs out there. And so I guess the bottom line is that we are in the running. I know that a local newspaper made it sound like Leroy had landed it, but nobody's really landed it yet. Would you want me to pursue it?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Okay. They realize currently there's no utilities out there, but I told them that when we got serious, we would figure out a way to get utilities there. So we're going to have a couple conference calls in about a week. Some of their personnel are going to be on vacation. So.
Aside from residential, is there any other restrictions? So say, if they take 10, say McDonald's or somebody else wanted 10.
And that's what I did ask him since you brought that up. I said, well, there's 20 acres out there and you're going to have a cannabis farm, but it's a completely enclosed facility. He said you wouldn't know really what would be inside the building, because I said, well, what if we wanted to bring in some type of fast food or anything else? He says, if they don't have a problem being our neighbor, we wouldn't have a problem being their neighbor.
There's no statute issue or anything like that.
So to the best of my knowledge, if you could land the gas station after you got that going, then that'd be great. Be another feather.
Sounds good, thank you.
My understanding is security is going to be at the highest level.
24-hour security, that's correct. And I will tell him, since you said that, I told him that one feature that we had over some other communities in the surrounding area, because everybody's throwing their name in the hat, was the fact of the power plant. There again, about a week, 10 days ago, when the power was out, when we had that storm, we had lights. That's because the power station generated out here for 2.5 hours. So we were actually generating off of Farm City. And I told him that with your security issues out there, that might be a plus. And it did seem like that would be a plus. So.
Excellent.
Any other items in the city manager's report?
No, sir, that's it.
Any questions to the city manager's report? Any non-agenda items in other business?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Don't like to agree with Mindy Gardner and everything she says, but I will agree with the fact that there needs to be a street light probably down there on West and Market Street, probably on one in West and Green Street. So that needs to be taken care of. Now, if we've made some sort of arrangement to not have street lights down there, maybe the person we made an arrangement would like to have his own kind of street light down there. But there needs to be something down there, because that is a dark area at night. Probably worse this time of the year than probably what it would be during the winter, especially on a moonless night. So, water meters. I had somebody kind of complain to me a little bit about a water meter that wasn't working. The person was checking it to see where he was at. realized it had high reading and everything. Kind of got a little bit of a runaround about, from you, somebody else in here. A little bit of a runaround about the meter and why it's red and all this. It did get changed, which is good, but I don't think, if people are checking their meter and see that they have got excessive water usage and everything, these meters are old in everybody's house. They need to be replaced and not probably give them too much static, check it out and probably get it taken care of. 300 block of Plum Street on the west side of the street, in the alley on the west side, between the alley between Plum and John Street. There's a tree growing back in there. I've had one person complain about that. It's going up against a power pole. Might be like a mulberry tree or something like that that's going up there. Might come and take a look at it. And 300 block.
Okay.
Street patches. Why don't we fix these places where we're cutting the street up and fixing holes?
Well, I would like to give you an honest answer that the street crew's been working pretty diligently with the water department. And so they really haven't started a street patching. They're going around with a little bit of cold patch. You'll see a little here and a little there. But like down at the end of the highway where they had that main and that, they cut all that out. Obviously, those haven't been fixed yet.
There's one on Warship Street. I think there's two on Main Street. There's one on Water Street.
Right.
And I hope the one on Water Street there, it gets kind of squared up a little bit more in the cut and gets taken care of and looks a little bit better than what it does, because it's kind of bad. But they're, when we're going to do this, I think we at the time, I think it may be to look at.
The MFT stuff, which you guys approved, has just recently been sent back in, so I don't know what the schedule is for any of that work to start. Obviously, any of that work would have to be done, not down on the concrete approach, but if it's out in an oil chip area, some of those would have to be fixed before they came in for any oiling purposes. So, but they have been working, trying to get the water main down South Park and the hydrants and stuff, so I'm sure the guys around, to be honest, so.
The other thing is, I hope that we can have in general, I don't know how to put it, a meeting to discuss 2015, the upcoming year, as far as things that need to be done. We didn't have any sort of meeting like that, discuss what was to be done in 2014. I think that we need to have one of those, discuss what we're going to do in 2015, and things to get lined out, see where we put things before you, see where we've got in the budget, if we can do it, if we can or can't, but not to ignore it. If you ignore too much, you're not doing it, as far as I'm concerned. That's all I have.
I just have a couple items. One of them is a house on East Allen. I'm not going to bring up the name. You know which one it is, probably just down from the light plant. We need, I don't know who owns it, but it's real bad. And it's about the same thing I said a few minutes ago. We need to get a hold of the homeowners, let them do something with it, or do what, I don't know what we can do with it, but it looks bad. The other thing I got is South Park, and I'll just give you a list. We've spent a lot of money out there, and there, I don't know, just give you an example here. We got some dead trees out there that need to be taken down.
We hired a guy to cut the trees 2 or 3 weeks ago. He just hasn't showed up yet.
Okay.
And that's over there by the new playground, those trees, yes.
Yeah, and some of the bushes or what, I don't know if they're lilac bushes or what, but they're just there and they just need cleaned up or taken out. Just make it real pretty. I don't know who's control of the baseball field, but we got the fence in the backstop is covered up with some kind of a tarp. Well, it's hanging down, and Mr. Bloomer spent hours and hours out there grooming that place out there. If he saw it now, he wouldn't be very happy.
I believe I might be wrong, but I believe the school put all that up. Obviously, the season's over and school's out, and so the school didn't take it down. I know what you're talking about. I've seen it.
Yeah.
And unsightly.
Yeah. I mean, the field is Bloomer Field, and he took really good care of it. I hate to see it like the way it is right The pavilion over by the ball field is shot. We got to do something about that.
Roof shop,
Roof shot.
roof
yeah.
shop.
But I also, some of the eaves that come down need attention too. So, I don't know financially where we're at on all
Can't do it
that.
this year.
Okay. But that's where Willard just mentioned, let's,
Been out there and looked at it a couple times, and I think I was out there one day when Willard pulled in, so.
let's have a little work session and put some stuff out on the table and see what we can put in the budget. That's all I've got.
I'll comment to what you had to say. I brought this up before, and I'll say it again, Park District. We better start looking upon it, because it's not gonna be it's gonna be a tough sell. It's not gonna be an easy sell to get that done. But if we can get people behind it, people to look at this thing, where it can be the advantage to a community, and point out the advantages of it to the community and everything, I realize it's gonna be a tax increase, but you can have a broad enough area to encompass to this Park District that it might not be too bad a tax burden on everybody. So I think we really need to, and I think that journey we have, we need to find out how to get that on the ballot. And we need to start seeing it.
There was same subject here is, it doesn't look like we're gonna get a sidewalk out there by it just looks like it's gonna drag on forever. So we could have a nice walking path out of South Park.
I have a meeting May 16th.
Okay.
July 16th.
Yeah, sorry,
So,
not Silver, July 16th.
okay. Because we have been awarded some money to go towards that. Okay.
Sure. A couple things. On South John, there's some potholes right there by the highway.
There's a cutout in the concrete approach.
Okay, it's
that
that
was
same
just-
spot.
Right.
Okay. We got a complaint about a house on East Richardson. Old furniture in the yard, junk and debris in the driveway, backyard's all overgrown, dogs in the house barking all day, stuff like that. So I've got a complaint from a citizen, can work on there. I also had a couple complaints during the Little League tournament out at South Park. Had some citizens contact me. They were hearing a lot of gunfire out there, and it was unsettling to a couple of them that weren't used to gunfire, and so they were wondering about safety and things like that. So I know that's outside city limits, assuming that it's not between South Park and the city. Is there any sort of county thing we can, I just want to make sure our people are safe. We turned down this, the archery range because we're concerned about arrows coming there, and an arrow sure goes a lot shorter distance than a bullet. So I just want to make sure we're being safe there, and that we're not having people fear for their safety or worried about coming to Farmer City. So if you can help me on that one. And then I had one other issue that I want to be working with you on, which is the electric rates, the commercial industrial whole setup. I think we need to really work on that, because I'm hearing more and more complaints from citizens, from business owners specifically, about their high rates. So I think that's something we really need to address quickly and get rolling on that.
What the thing out of South Park, what is it, what would you like me to do?
I guess
The council as a group, do you want to do something? It's constant, you can hear it on the north end of town, you can hear it on the
There's not
south.
much you can do. It's on private property, and because I was on the zoning board, I questioned it.
Okay.
And there's not, we're not, it's a little, it's kind of gray, area, you can't do much about it.
Okay.
I don't like it either.
Yeah.
I don't mind shooting. I want a
Doesn't
shooting
mind
range in town. I want to take
Sure.
that sewer plant down there and take that shooting range and beat that up and have a nice shooting range if
Yeah.
people like to pistol shoot and
A little
everything.
sportsman's park or something, that'd be
Sure.
great.
Little sport, yeah.
Yeah.
Gun club or whatever. If the city does it, has a nice one there at the edge of town. It may happen for us.
Yeah.
But that out there, it is unsettling when you're not used to it and everything. So I agree with that, but not a whole lot of things.
That's what I was curious about. I knew we couldn't, but I didn't know if the county had anything or not.
I think this has been brought up before, about the gunshots. And I think it was a county thing that we can't do anything.
There's no zoning, there's a zoning code about that and everything. There's something.
if something happens, I would think they would be liable, wouldn't they?
Sure.
For ricocheted off of an old disc blade or, other scenarios.
You have anything, Pat?
Back on South Park. The one thing I was out there and looked at the playground again and checked everything out. It was after the rains that we had. I know they're not done putting their dirt down, leveling it out and all that. But is there any way we can make sure it's gonna be able to drain away from that new playground, the water?
I think my wife said something about that. She was out there with the kids. The water in front of it was
I don't know if we can-
high.
I talked to Larry about this. They're gonna get it straight down.
Okay, all right, 'cause I
Just
just.
gotta dry first.
It's got to dry first.
Yeah, I just didn't know if it had been addressed or not. I just seen that, 'cause we was out there looking at it when we finished putting that last piece on. So,
It's a great deal.
oh, it's
The
beautiful.
kids love it.
Yeah.
Another thing about South Park, the ball, the dugouts and ball diamond, the guy still knows he needs help. And anybody who wants to step up and go out there and get hold of him and help him get those things completed, he'd love to have the help. So,
Who's doing it?
Herb Coffee. He'd love to have somebody come out there and help him get hold of him, because he can't, he's been doing it all himself, and he's had a lot of things going on in his plate, so.
I received one complaint and noticed it myself on my power bill that the last read was 45 days.
That's correct. The meter reader was in the hospital for an extended period of time, and so that did throw all the routes off.
There's nobody to do backup on
Wally Miller was reading meters,
that? Okay.
yes. So there was some partial reading going on while Chad was in the hospital. It was off.
Any other non-agenda items?
We still cross-training.
We're trying that.
Okay.
Chief, that would lead to you for a public comment then. Piece that you was given. Did you want to comment on that?
No,
Okay.
unless there's questions, I'm just here to answer any questions you may have.
If there is nothing else, entertain a motion to
So moved.
call it.
Pearl,
Yes.
Jenkins,
Yes.
Harden,
Yes.
Hahn,
Yes.
McKinley,
Yes.